Okay, fuck that box. Check Twitter. Fuel. Twitter. Oops. Wait, what? Kyle? Wait, let me flip the camera. KYKY and RASCAL or Dunzo? Is there, do you guys think there's a code in here? Let's check the source code, Kappa. Vol'jin coming in and KYKY out. Well, the thing is, dude, like, you know what? Now the team is breaking apart. Let's just talk about it. I don't really mind, to be honest. Alright, this is chilling in the box with the viewers episode number 1. Alright? We'll visit your computer after this, right? So, I didn't want to talk about it in the first place because I didn't want to like hurt some of the teammates that I was with, right? Because I always like do that shit where they get like some sort of immunity, or I like, you know, they don't get like full criticism from me or like, you know, full truth, because the truth kind of hurts sometimes, and nobody likes someone who says the truth, right? Because the truth is sometimes hurtful. You know, what if I said it? Let's say I said it out of the blue. I said it. Let's just kick Mickey, right? The whole chat would riot, Twitter would riot, YouTube would riot, the police would riot, I'd get fucking swatted, dude. The motherfucking river would be on my back. My DMs would explode. It would all go GG's, right? Because I love Mickey. We all love Mickey, right? And as a whole, as competitive viewers and shit, we can't make the difference between player and person. Our brains are too small, right? We're too fucking dumb to do the difference between the two. And it's just one of those things, right? It happens all the time. That, you know, hey, this guy's a really good player, but he's a bad person, therefore he's a bad player. Hey, boys, super big thinking, and that's kind of stupid, but that's just how it goes, right? But since that these two got released, then, you know, everything's chaotic anyway, so might as well slip a word on it, right? From my perspective,
Hello, YouTube. Triad 7
I do like KYKY and stuff, right? I like him. I think he gave me good advice a bunch of times, where he's one of the only coaches that didn't say, hey dude, don't use bubble there, don't do that, don't do that, do this. Because coaching like that can be very, very damaging, right? Because if the reasoning behind me doing some plays and doing certain things is very elaborate and he doesn't understand them, and he tries to fix my play and he damages it, he could damage my play, right? Does that make any sense to you guys? By saying, if he said, do this, do that, do this, do that, without understanding the full complexity of everything, he could damage my play forever. He could make me a worse player, and this happens extremely often. it happened with a lot of players on other teams that I know of. It happens with almost every team that I've ever known. A lot of players were damaged by the coaching. Except KYKY gave me generic advice, not generic, but more leading, like things that if you feel that you're doing something, if you're doing something and it feels a certain way, turn back and do something else or do this instead, right? Just like thought patterns, and that really helped me. I think that made him like a good coach. That's just my perspective on it. The only thing I would have to say that I think KYKY was wrong about is selecting players for starting rosters and whatnot, and sort of listening to players' input on it. I think Fuel's an org that the players don't have much say, like, as a whole. I wish this could change. Like, basically, when new players were coming in, we had no idea. I didn't even know that OG was coming in to be like the main tank, and I was still fucking on main tank, right? But they knew I was going to get banned anyway at some point, so it was a preventive manner. But even then, like, RASCAL for us was out of the blue, and he was like he was an expensive piece of hardware to our machine. He's extremely expensive, I think. So it wasn't our best interest that he was going to work, but we never had tryouts. We never tried out OG. We never tried out RASCAL. We never tried out anyone. There was no tryouts that were ever offered at any given point. It was just like, hey, we bought a piece. It's going to be put in the machine, and the machine's going to run faster. And I don't agree with that fully. And to be quite honest with you guys, I don't know why RASCAL does that kind of shit, but I respect it a lot. This comes from me. I respect RASCAL for what he did. When OG was sort of like, we were like, dude, OG's coming, like it's happening, right? And they were like, like, we can't say it. And they were like, listen, OG is coming, right? And then they were like, right? And then RASCAL, dude, was like, oh, hey, I'm not okay. What was his voice like? I'm not okay with this. No fair, not okay, bad. And I'm like, I'm sitting right to KYKY, because my desk is right next to KYKY, right? So then I'm sitting right next to him, and I'm like, dude, like, settle down, man. What's going on, dude? Like, we can talk about this, dude. Like, I'm like you, dude. Like, I'm super, like, aggressive about everything. So let's just talk it through, right? And he's like, I don't know how OG performed, who is he? Is he good? Nobody knows. We need try out. We need to see. We need to see if he's good. And then KYKY's like, like he's getting signed, he's getting bought in and shit. And that's the way it goes. And RASCAL was like, dude, RASCAL was fucking mad. Hey boys, I love RASCAL. But when RASCAL gets upset about something, dude, he fucking baby rages, dude. It's not in a negative way. Like, don't take anything away from RASCAL for that. But he just, like, when something hits his heart and he believes that he could make his team better, which is a positive thing, he fucking baby rages, dude. No. Shit like that. It's just the way he does things. I think it's funny, right? And he was really mad that there was no tryouts, and I agree with that 100%. Because the thing is, dude, a lot of talent and skill and players, dude, they're extremely overrated or underrated. It's extremely common because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, right? When Overwatch League came along, dude, it had a big buyout, like $20 million, dude. Holy shit, it's the big deal. Pog fucking champ. And when that gets announced, what do you think happens, chat? You think the fucking masters of the expertise come out of the blue, dude, come out of the woodwork and, like, they start grinding the knowledge, like, wait, no, dude. All they see is a big bag of money, dude, and they want to get some of that juice, right? They want the motherfucking juice. That's what they want. So when that happens, people try to weasel in. They try to weasel in into. No, I'm not talking about KYKY at any given point. This is not towards KYKY. This is just in general towards the league. a lot of staff are sort of unqualified, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? And some of them are going to hit some good guesses, and some of them are going to hit bad guesses. And even on some rosters, I was like a nobody. Dude, I was like a fucking streamer at that point. I was like an idiot. And I had some fucking staff people ask me about some players, and they were like, what do you think about this guy, this guy? And I'm like, dude, you should give a try to this guy, right? And I was like sort of helping them. And then it's like, this motherfucker's like paid like 200K or something to manage a team, like to be a GM, right? And he's gonna ask a washed up fucking band streamer in his fucking mom's basement, right? What to do with the fucking $20 million roster. You know what I mean? It just feels so like stupid. It feels so like, you know, it's like some banker, dude, like from fucking motherfucking Wall Street, right? Has like a fucking 200K watch, 200K on my wrist, 50K on my motherfucking belt, 50K on my neck. Hey, I got 10K on my fingers, yeah, with the fucking grills and shit, right? It's fucking popping off, fucking juiced out, right? He's fully fucking iced out. And he goes at the bottom, right? And he runs down the alley, and he sees like a homeless guy, and he's like, dude, listen, man, I'm about to make a huge bet. Should I invest, dude, fucking motherfucking Dow Jones, dude, or should I invest on Netflix, my dog guy, right? And that dude goes like, dude, just fucking jump all on fucking Netflix, my dude. Just put this on SpaceX or some shit, right? And at that point, you know, it either pays off or it doesn't. That's just the way it is, dude. And in the case of KYKY, he already had a roster, right? He had KYKY already had Envy, which was a fuel. All he had to do is, you know, add a couple pieces that thought could work, and I was one of those. Seagull's one of those. I think Seagull has it all, to be honest. Like I'm not really biased. I think Seagull has it both ways. He adds like hype to the roster. He adds fans, and he adds like juice. And on top of that, he adds actual good play. A well-rounded player, a player that is sort of like a putty, right? Like a putty. You take the putty, right? It's like a big ball of nothing, right? And then you get to roll it, and you can make it like a sausage, right? Or you can make like a pasta, yeah. Or you can make like some little balls, right? Or you can take the dough and like split apart, right? And make some good things about it. They can rework him. They can make him play DPS, motherfucking flying fair across the sky. They can make him play crazy shit, hit scan, whatever he puts his mind to, he's gonna be good at it, right? So they brought him for that, I believe, but then he was being like misused and, you know, like misinterpreted, or like, you know, I believe just like misread in general. And I think if there was like one like big mistake, it's not like I'm not gonna like blame Mike or whatever, dude. It's like, dude, I'm in their apartment, you know, like this isn't even I signed the lease this morning, dude. I'm fucking evicted, you know. I'm not evicted, like I gave the lease to the fuel back, you know. That's their place now, so I'm not gonna be like ungrateful and some shit. But I just feel like the way they deal with things is all like old school. Not old school, just too secretive, man. Right? Like, yes, I did talk to Mike a bunch of times, right? But a lot of players were in the dark, and it's like, dude, I feel a certain way. Like, I feel like I'm misused, or I'm worth a shot, or I'm this and I'm that, and these discussions wouldn't happen that often. Where some players could say, listen, man, I'm spectating fucking 8 hours a day, and I think I can offer better or whatever, or I can offer feedback and whatnot, right? But it just seemed like it was all like bricked, you know? Everyone was convinced of how they played, and they were convinced of who they were going to play and why and how, and it was all like just bricked. It's like, you know, it's like fucking frozen. And then KO's something else. I don't want to talk about KOKO. I don't want to disrespect him. KOKO is like KOKO is like, come on now. I mean, I like him, dude. Like, I suspected him a bunch of times. I think he was way too defensive, but the thing is, he could have improved and got better, but I believe that there's one map that like really like broke him, dude. Like, I have to stop saying like, but we were playing on I think we were playing on Eichenwald. I wasn't playing because, you know, I was like a perma bench at that point. I was watching, and they were playing Eichenwald, and I was always singing with most of the time I was singing with KYKY with the comms. I could hear it, or I could listen in, and there's no plans, dude. Time was playing Junkrat, and he was getting shit on by Jake, which is, dude, it's not even his fault. He was playing offense Junkrat, like what the fuck, and they had no plan and shit. And after it, everyone was fucking tilted. It was tilt city, which is perfectly okay, dude. It's okay to be tilted. It happens in every professional team, I believe. Everyone gets fucking tilted. And it was like, Coco was like, dude, there's no comms, there's no plan and shit, you know? But then it's like, well, you make the plan, you know? You're the main tank, another guy, you know? And then they brought in like I don't know. From that point on, I feel like they just saw Coco as like damaged or just not capable or something. That's how I see it. And when I after I got unbanned the first time, I was scrimming and I was given my first full block of scrims. Actually, I wasn't. I was given like I think Time was he was late, right? I was always punished for being late, which is perfectly okay, because I felt like I was like misused, or I just feel like I was like left out a little bit. So I felt like my presence there was kind of useless. So me being late, I feel like it had no repercussions, but it did have repercussions. I think towards other teammates where like they feel like, you know, why is he late and shit. So I understand that after, but then Timo was late once, and then I played my first block, right? And then I don't know, dude. I feel like there were so many discussions, dude. Like KYKY talking to Coco, or talking to this guy, or talking to this guy, and it was like, you know, he was specking and doing his coach job, but there's like so much like discussion or something, right? And I sort of had this feeling that me playing was like, I sort of had this feeling that me playing was upsetting people because I was banned previously, right? And I wasn't there at all, and I was getting rewarded with playtime, and I shouldn't be because, you know, I wasn't there and I got banned. It's fucking, I fucked with the team, you know? And I just felt like guilty scrimming, you know? I felt like I was like a bandit, you know? You know what I mean? Where am I going with this, dude? This is like a long story for no fucking reason. Yeah, I do believe RASCAL had some sort of was some upset a bunch of times, very very upset, and he wouldn't listen to comms very much because he talked a lot, but he didn't really listen, which happens. It was a little underwhelming, but that's not his fault at all. What happened is that they just bought him. They said, dude, he's on the Spitfire, he must be good. And they just bought him. So RASCAL came in and they just bought him. Of course, RASCAL could be one of the top players if he wanted, if he was guided properly, if he was given trust and confidence, and yo, you got this, man. You know, he could become whatever he wants. He's like one of those like putty like thing like I said earlier, right? But you know, it just felt like, for me, it felt like it was, yo, our car, dude, has all these nice pieces. Let's put a motherfucking turbo. Let's put a turbo made out of titanium. Boom! We're gonna be better. And that works most of the time. But for this time, I don't think RASCAL was mechanically immediately good enough to make the big difference, make the big gap that they were looking for. It just wasn't. Here's how I see it. All right, I don't talk about this too much, but my philosophy about Overwatch in general, right? I've never told you guys anything about this shit, but the reason why I say scrims are fucking useless a bunch of times, right? I always say that shit, right? Scrims are fucking useless. These scrims are a fucking joke. RASCAL's nutty? Yeah, he is. But basically, the way I see the game, and I think scrimming is somewhat damaging sometimes if you don't do it properly, is that mechanical skill is I would say like 85% of the game, or like 80% of the game is pure mechanics, and the rest is like strats and shit, right? Or maybe like 70-30. I think 70-30 is more reasonable. 70-30. And I feel like Envy as a whole, doesn't matter who's mechanically god and who's like not that god. This includes movement and mechanics is everything except game sense and shit, and comms and leadership. So Envy, I think, was mechanically good on some part, but not that much on others. But they weren't for a team for so long that they were still getting success because of how much of a good team they were as a team, right? That 30% was fucking stacked up. So where others weren't stacked at all, but they were mechanically better a little bit, but it wasn't enough to make up for that team part, right? And coming into the Overwatch League, I knew that it was obvious that everything was going to be shaken up. And some teams were going to say, fuck it, let's bring 6 poggers, right? 6 juicers, and like Boston, dude, Gamsu, Striker, Kellex, Note is like a solo cure, but fuck it, you know, he got better, dude. Like, yeah, 6 poggers, and that will work 100%. It will work, of course it will, because if your 70% or your 80% is maxed out, like you're almost just the best mechanically, you just fucking win. You actually could just win. It doesn't matter, right, dude? Listen. Look at J. Jonak play. Look at J. Jonak, like, go do a POV, because I would do that, right, in scrims. I would do only his POV, and I would just watch and record and watch again. Look at KYKY play, right, with his fucking mushroom head, yeah? And tell me that his comms and his leadership, dude, and his team play and his synergy is why he pops off. If you tell me that, dude, I feel the need to punch you. I actually do. It makes me mad. It makes me upset. That motherfucker, dude, he clicks balls and he just kills everyone. It doesn't matter if he says, I'm killing, dude. I'm killing. I'm flanking. Okay, we know that shit, dude. He hits the shots.
I mean, I knew everything about this girl. I knew her favorite color. I knew her favorite food.
Yeah.